Okay. So they hit you with the old sprayer in the pooper.
All in my eyes. Took it, rubbed it in my ears, all over my private parts. I mean, they done that to me. Yes, sir.
Definitely some horrible individuals that do stuff like that, right?
Sure is.
Wow. I mean, I don't know. People are watching this right now. Some people might be like, man, he's capping. He's lying. But they do vicious things like this to people.
Right now, that's my hand. My hand on my grandma, they sprayed that shit up my ass, man.
Unbelievable. So anyway, let's talk a little bit more about prison and who were you with? Who was your cellie? And was Gotti your cellie in Pollock?
He was at the medium. When I walked across the street to the medium, he was my cellie.
Were you shocked to be cellies with a guy like that?
Yeah, man, I was tripping on that. Hey, Mr. Gotti, hey, shout out to Mr. Gene Gotti, man. He's a real yo.
What was he like? I mean, you lived with him. What was he like?
Hey, man, he was funny as shit, man. He was funny as hell. He told me some good stories, man. He really did.
Was he well respected?
He's the best pinochle player I've ever seen.
Was he well respected?
Was he? Hey, listen, man. Every day at 12 o'clock on the dot, that hand never got to 12:01. There's a guard at the door bringing Mr. Gotti a plate out of the officer's mess every day, man. Every day.
Come on, are you serious?
I'm dead ass, man. Hey, every day. That hand don't make it past 1 after 12, and they there with that plate of food for that man.
Let me ask you this. When you were his cellie, did he feed you? I mean, he made meals. Did someone cook for you guys?
Yeah. I wasn't his cellie but for 2 nights. Yeah, but knowing I just got there, he looked out for me. He gave me something to eat, yeah.
Did you associate with him in the day room when you were there?
Yeah, I played pinochle with him.
He was your partner?
Yeah, he's been my partner. I played against him, too.
Let's talk more about what happens with you in the DC car. I know you told me some stuff about the DC car. What happens?
Hey, this is when I was at SL. Hey, shout out to all my DC buddies, man. If y'all out there now, y'all remember me. I know you do. Hey, man, I'm going to put it out there like this. There's a lot of good dudes from DC, man. They really are. I got along with a lot of them guys. I made a lot of moonshine for them while I was in there. I sold it to them and stuff, man. I got along with a bunch of them dudes, man. Played spades with them, dominoes, whatever, man. Had good times with them.
You ain't saying that. Hold on now. You ain't saying that just because you're scared of them, are you?
No, Lord, no. They know I ain't scared, man. They'll tell you I ain't scared, man.
Now, what happened? Let's talk about what happened.
Well, right here's the way it went down. I'd been playing dominoes with these guys for a long time. We'd play all the time. And, we talk shit. Ever who wins, whatever. Well, one day, I don't know what it was. They decided, I guess they wanted to gamble. So I said, sure, we'll gamble some. So we started playing singles, We most time play partners. We started playing singles, and I started winning a few stamps, man. And it got me feelings, man. And they was talking shit, and I guess I shouldn't have said this, but the only thing I said, man, was, yo, man, if you can't afford to lose the stamp, Joe, you shouldn't play. Because they kept on fussing and stuff, man. I got tired of hearing it, bro. And they just got mad, jumped me, I guess. I mean, they was young. I mean, I'm about 40. I was like 42 then, 43. These guys about 20, 22 probably. Young guys.
And you go in the cell and they jump you in the cell? They jump you in the day room?
No, I cut the lights off in the day room. I hit the lights in there.
What do you mean you hit the lights? I don't even understand that.
I cut the lights off in the card room, man. That's the way we do it when we get ready to get it in.
Okay, so you end up fighting in the card room.
Yeah, we in the card room. It's a separate room off from the day room.
So what makes you get up and cut the lights off? Are they like, yo, what's up? Are they acting like they're about to press you? What's happening?
Yeah, see, I'm over here by the door. See, I could have walked out and ran. I was by the door. I could have ran, man. But, you know, that ain't the kind of dude I am. I ain't going to run, man. I'll just take my ass whooping. That's the way I am. But I'm over by the door, and the light switch is right there, and I seen them coming. You know, they duped up and shit, got their hands up and shit. So I just cut the lights off. I know it's going to go down, so I just cut the lights off. That way the fucking police won't see us.
I mean, it takes a lot of heart to stand there with 3 DC dudes with the lights out.
Hey, here's what it is, bro.
So let's talk about it. You're in there fighting. You're squared up with them. How's it going?
I'm fighting for my life, man. You know, hey, I was doing my thing, man. I really was, but you know, I got against the wall so they couldn't get behind me.
No weapons?
No, it's just man to man.
Any other white dudes in the car room with you?
Nah, they wasn't nobody in there, man. Just me and them DC dudes.
How long do you think you were in there fighting with them for?
I'd say about 3 minutes.
3 minutes is a long time to be in a fight in prison, isn't it?
Hell yeah, it's a long time.
So you guys are fighting. What happens? How does it end?
Well, you know, they finally got me, man. They got me down, and they me up pretty good. And I just told them, you know, I said, yo, man, I've had enough, bro. I said, y'all got me, man. Some black dude from South Carolina, you know, he's black and I'm white, but he was a good friend of mine. I with the dude. He came to the door and he told them black dudes, he said, yo, man, you know, that's good, man. They respect him because he had a lot of respect there.
So once he felt it was enough, he tells the dudes, all right, man, it's it. You guys did you did your thing. It's over with. And that's how it ends? It ends just like that?
That's right.
So what, you get up, you go to your cell, you wash up?
Yeah, I'm up, bro. I am. One of my teeth's gone. My mouth's busted. Up, I can't even go to the chow hall.
What do the white dudes say about it? What do the other white gang members say? I mean,
well, I'm getting ready to tell you. You know, the DC guy that their shot caller for their whole car was in my dorm. So he comes to my cell and he's like, "Yo, Smooth, you know, you up, bro. You messed up, man." He said, "You can't go to the chow hall. If you do, they gonna take you to the hole and they gonna start asking questions and yah. So he had me a big bag of commissary, man. Gave it to me. He said, "I respect you, man, because he said you didn't run, you know. He said you cut the lights off and you fought like a man, you didn't run." He said, he gave me a big bag of commissary, probably about $100 worth of stuff.
Isn't that kind of like an oxymoron? They tell you, hey, you cut the lights off and you stood in there and fought like a man, but yet they had 3 dudes jumping you. So, you know, Was that some man shit to jump someone with 3 dudes?
Well, that's just, you know how prison is, man. Prison ain't nothing fair about being in prison.
Well, I know that, and, you know, I've been in situations where we did that, and, you know, I've talked about that in my book, where when you go on a mission, you're going to win. There ain't nothing fair in prison.
There ain't nothing fair in prison, man.
And, you know, some people that are watching, they've never been to prison. So they might not understand the concept of what you were just talking about, where you say, hey, they come in, they give you a bag of food, and they tell you can't go to the chow hall. But really, they're giving you a bag of food because they want to avoid any consequences. They don't want you to be noticed. They don't want anything like that to be found out, correct?
Exactly. They don't want nothing to happen to their homeboys.
So what they do is they pacify you with some food, like, yo, pretty much hide in the unit. When they do count, stay out of the way. Don't let the cops see you. And, you know, you'll heal up in about a week and you should be okay, right?
Right.
And I want people to know that this is the reality of prison, where you can have 3 dudes jumping on you for such a small statement. But really, it probably wasn't the statement. They were probably in their feelings because why? They were losing their money, right?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Do you feel like they looked at you as just like an old dude, my old country boy? Man, we don't got no respect for this dude taking our money.
Right, they had some respect for me after that, though, because I ended up breaking one of his nose so bad his nose looked like a beak on a parrot, man.
Now, I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to believe that. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it seems like you've been pretty honest with me, man. Sometimes we get guys on videos and I think they start making up shit as they go along.
No,
But I think,
I don't do that, man.
well, I think you've been pretty honest. So I do believe that you were fighting back. You remind me of one of them old country white dudes might have a couple beers and get to swinging. So you might have hit one of them with that one hitter quitter.
Hey, I was in a lot better shape too back then. I weighed about 220 pounds. I worked out every day back then.
So now let's talk about this, because this is the other part of it, right? It's no secret that federal prison is a dangerous place. It's no secret that it is racially segregated. What did the white dude say about you getting jumped by the DC car?
Well, see, I had some dirty white boy homies there. There's probably about 10 of us, 12 of us or something. They all wanted to, make some noise and raise some hell and this, that, and the other. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I was happy to the way things went. Like I said, every day he wakes up, he's going to have to see his nose. I'm missing a tooth, but he's going to have to see his nose broke. So I wasn't that mad about the results, And I just told my homeboys just to let it slide.
So you felt like 3 dudes jumping you, just let it go, don't get everybody jammed up, it's all right?
Exactly, right. I just didn't want my homeboys to get in trouble.
I got to say, you're probably a better man than me, because I would have been in my feelings, bro. Win, lose, or draw. And some people are like that. In the penitentiary, if something like that happened, the whole car is going to probably crash.
Oh, we would have now. My homies would win if all I'd do is say, let's go, and it would have been on.
So now you're out of prison. How long you been out?
Well, I got out May 17th, 2021, but I ended up going back again. I went back April the 6th of 2022. I had to go do a little 4 months on a violation.
So you've been out, what, about 9-10 months now?
Yeah.
What's it feel like to be free?
Man, I tell you what, bro. Hey, anybody that's out there right now that would take their freedom for granted is they need to go have their brain checked out a little bit, because freedom's everything, man. It's everything.
Do you regret a lot of the stuff that you did in your life?
Yes, I do.
How old are you now, Marty?
I'm getting ready to be 50 years old in September.
50 years old. Do you ever feel like you're too old to be a gang member?
Well, actually, I fell back a little bit since I've got out of prison. I ain't out there every day around like I used to. I'm trying to, stay home for my wife, man. My wife, she waited on me the whole time I was in federal prison. Stood by me, and she's an angel from God, man. I'm trying to, repay her for being there for me, man. I want to be here for her.
Oh, that's commendable, man. I want you to stay free too. Do you feel like the things that you've seen in places like USP Pollock is a deterrent to never want to go back, to never experience that, to never have to see what it's like for another man to die in prison?
Man, it's like I said, anybody that's out there right now getting ready to do anything, winning guns, drugs, just remember, they got a bed for you at one of them places, and when you get there, you gonna remember seeing these shows like Blood on the Razor Wire, man. This shit's real. Ain't nothing fake about it.
You ever see anything happen to a youngster in there, man, and you felt bad, like, damn, they massacred, or what we used to call back then, they butchered them? You ever seen something like that where it affected you, where you're like, damn, I feel bad?
Man, I'll tell you what, I seen one time that really, really affected me. I guess it's the worst thing that affected me, but I couldn't do nothing about it because it didn't have nothing to do with my race. I seen a little Bauca, Mexican gang.
Bayucos.
Yeah, I seen him get man.
Yeah, well, when stuff like that happens, it's definitely...
I couldn't do nothing about it because it didn't have nothing to do with my race, man. It was him and a couple of black dudes, so that wasn't none of my business.
Definitely a wild, wild thing to experience or see, and I've said this before, man. You have to make decisions in prison, right? I've been involved in things or seen things where I felt bad for this one individual and I didn't intervene because I couldn't, because of, the race thing. It wasn't as bad as what you just described. But, as a man, I don't think, man, I just don't know. I think I would have to, if I seen that happening, whether race or whatever, I think that's the only thing that I would ever get involved in. that didn't have nothing to do with me, man. I think I would get involved in it. I can say that in hindsight, but, at the moment, who knows? Would I have? I think I probably would, man. It's just something in me be like, nah, man, I ain't with that, man.
Well, see, the thing is, man, the reason I didn't get involved in it is try to stop what was happening. The police was like, that know what was going on, man. He didn't stop.
Do you ever feel like the police just don't care about people in them? They're like, man, who cares? He's a prisoner.
I met a couple of good cops in there. I ain't gonna lie, there was a couple of good ones, but let me tell you something: the bad far outweighed the good.
Say that again for me, so everybody catches that.
I said that I met me a couple of good cops in there, man. There was a couple in there that was probably good people, but the bad cops far outweighed the good cops.
Definitely a wild life, wild place, man. What are you doing with your life now that you've been out of prison?
Well, I've just been trying to stay clean, the main thing. I go to NA twice, 3 times a week sometimes. I go up there for 2 hours each class, and I mean, that stuff, it's doing me a lot of good. I've been clean, that's the main thing.
Well, listen, man, I definitely appreciate you coming on.
One more story I want to share with you.
Okay, you run the show then.
This is one of the craziest things I've seen, man. Hey, I was down in Estelle, South Carolina. This was in April of 2015. I'll never forget it. The DC car and the Georgia Bloods, they got into it over Love and Hip Hop in Atlanta, the TV show. One of them guys said something. The DC guy said something about one of them chicks on there, and come to find out, I guess that chick was some kin to one of them Georgia Bloods, and that's how it popped off, man. There was like 30 people in there fighting that night, and man, they had knives. They had like them little pedals they put on wheelchairs and put your feet on.
Yeah.
They had them things, man. A bloodbath. That was at a FCI.
Anybody die?
Nobody died, man. Nobody got killed, but they was like 6 people had to be lifted out to the hospital.
So like you said, that was at an FCI, a place where people think, man, if I make it to an FCI, I'm going to be all right. But there's a lot of violence that goes on in them places too.
Hey, people get that mixed up way they be saying that club fed, man. That ain't the truth, man.
Well, listen, Marty, I appreciate you coming on. I'm going to get ready to close the show, but before we go, I mean, you're like an old school country boy, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But what message would you give to a youngster, man, that's on the wrong path? Might be heading to federal prison.
Well, let me just say this to them. Please stop and think about what you're doing, youngster, because federal prison, the places I went is no place to be, and I'm sure Chad will tell you the same thing. There's a bed open for you in a prison like that. They gonna keep one open for you because they making money off that shit, and that's just the way of life. And if I was you, I'd try to get your education and just do the right thing, man, and stay home with your family. That's where everybody needs to be, with their family these days, because you never know when the world's going to end.
Wow, that's a hell of a statement. You never know when the world's going to end, boy, and a lot of things are crazy right now. But anyway, Marty, definitely appreciate you coming on, sharing your story, sharing your experience. You've been through some things. You've been through some pretty serious things. I know old school guys like you that I've been in prison with. So definitely appreciate you. I'm going to tell people if they like the show, you already know, hit the like button and make sure you share the video. I think there's a story to be heard here. I think there's something to be learned. It's a learning experience.
Any youngsters out there, hey, I want to say if there's any youngsters out there that needs any advice that'd like to hit me up sometime, you look me up at Michelle Swift at Facebook.com.
Okay, brother. Definitely appreciate your blood on the Razor Wire TV. With respect, until tomorrow, you already know. We're out.